Today on the channel, I'm going to show you how to play Drop Dead Legs by Van Halen. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to play Drop Dead Legs by Van Halen. This is a great song off of 1984, probably one of my favorite Van Halen songs of all time, and probably one of the trickiest riffs in this song to play that's in the Van Halen catalog. So let's take a look at it. We are tuned to standard. Eddie is actually tuned to standard on this record for some reason. Most of the time he's tuned flat, almost to E flat, but he's in standard, and this song is in drop D. So the low E string is a D. So everything's standard except we've got a low D on the high, or the low E string, okay? Now this song is in A. I'm going to begin showing you the intro, okay? So we're going to do the intro first, then I'm going to show you the chorus section, and then the little musical interlude that comes after the chorus. So this song is pretty much those three parts, and at the very end where they do the outro, I'm going to show you some little riffs and some tricks on how to get that outro to sound kind of cool and to give you some ideas on what Eddie was kind of doing and thinking there, okay? So let's begin. The intro starts off with Eddie rolled back on his volume. Eddie liked to roll back to get his clean sounds. So full blast, my distortion sounds like. But rolled back, it's going to sound like. All right, so Eddie liked to roll back on his volume and clean up that tone. It was all on the volume pot right there. The high gain and the low gain. Just Eddie was a simple man, but he was a wizard and a genius. So that's in a nutshell the Eddie tone on this song, except he's got a little bit of a delay and a little bit of a stereo chorus. So today I'm running a stereo delay through Pro Tools. I've got a Friedman BE and my Fractal Axate, a BE model, and some Friedman IRs in stereo, but I'm running a stereo delay at about 180 milliseconds on one side, about 300 milliseconds on the other side, and a stereo chorus. So it sounds a little bit like that in the delay. It's got that widespread, kind of like Eddie's tone on 84. Okay? So let's take a look at this beginning. We're going to start off with a simple A chord down on the second fret. So Eddie just goes, doesn't really dig into it. He kind of just goes. All right, so one of Eddie's favorite things is this 3/16 pattern. So once again, we're going to be doing this, and then this chord, and then we're going to take the same position and move it up here. So this intro is off those three chords: A, D, E, D, A. Okay, so that's an inversion of a D and an inversion of an E. It's kind of like a pedal tone. He's got that A on the bass, right? So just a standard 1-4-5 progression. But what he does with that is he goes like this. All right, so what I'm doing there, the first part is I strum down, and I'm going to go a little bit of a triplet. I go up to that D. So I'm going to hit the A chord. I'm going to hammer on this D. like that. So it goes. So I strum that A, and then this chord, I'm not going to play the chord. I'm going to be in this position, but really I'm only going to leave these two fingers on there and go like. So what I'm doing there is I'm on the 4th fret on the D string, and I slide up to the 6th fret. So what I'm doing is I'm going, this is the shape I'm playing, but I've got my ring finger on the 5th fret on the B string, and we're playing an open E. So that E, high E, and this E on the 5th fret are a unison. So what I'm talking about is it goes. So it's. That's it. When I go down to this next chord, I play the chord by downstroke on the B, G, and D string. Back to that A. So beginning. So slowly it's. Up to speed. All right, that's part 1. Then it goes. So I'm going to lead into this. I'm going to slide in like 1st fret on the D string. So you're just sliding in. We're going to hold that A position the whole time. And repeat. Slide in. And then you pause. Roll down the volume on your guitar and hit an F. And swell in. Like that, and then we're going to go. And I'm palm muting. I got my palm on the pickup, and I'm full blast now. I've got all my volume turned up, so I've got all the gain. And then that's when he does the D. So that beginning, from the very beginning, it's like this. Okay, so we're done with the intro there, all right? So now the verse goes. Like that. So let me show you this riff. I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit so I can clean it up so you can hear the notes. So we're going to go just a big fat D. D chord. Now watch this. I'm going to go. So I'm on the low E string on the 6th up to the 7th. You can go. You can slide it, or you can go like that. It's up to you. And we're going to play the open D string after that. And then we're going to take this C on the 3rd fret on the A string. And we're going to bend it up to a D. So we're playing around A and D on 3 different strings. And then we're going to slide up to that D. So in slow motion, it's open D, open D. We're going to slide this back down to a C and play a C9. So let me try that again. I'm going to show you in slow motion. Very weird. You gotta kind of put a little vibrato on that. Eddie probably plays it with his whammy bar. I don't know. I've never really seen a good video of him doing this song. And then we're gonna ride up to the C chord, and it's gonna go A, B, C. So what I did there is I went open A string, 2, 3. I'm gonna ride right up this first part of the C chord, which is like that. C, E, G. And then D string on the 4th fret, open G, and then go. Believe it or not, that's a G chord, but that's with a B on the bass. You could play it like this too, but it sounds better, I think, to go like this. So it's. And then he goes. What that is A, B, C, like that. And we're going to take our pinky and go A. That's like the You Really Got Me lick. But remember, we're in drop D, so that G is way up here. So. I'm putting a little bit of vibrato on this. So slowly that verse lick goes. Alright, so then chorus is. Just like the verse or the intro. So the chorus does 3 little things that are really cool. The very first one, we're going to do 1, and then number 2, and then number 3. So number 1 is. Alright, that's number 1. Then we slide in. Here's number 2. Alright, so that's number 2 part of the chorus. So it goes number 1, number 2, now number 3. Okay, so what that is, let me start all over from this chorus part. So I'm going to show you part 2 and part 3 in detail. So part 1, just like the intro. Okay, so now number 2 is we're going to slide up to this D chord up here. Instead of playing the D here, we're going to play it here, which is like a D bar chord. We're just with our pointer finger on the 7th fret, and it's the D, G, and B string. So then he goes. So what I'm doing there is which is 8, 7, and then 7 on the B, and then the G string. And we're going to go up to the 10th fret with our pinky on the B string. And that last part is. And I'm palm muting that in between those notes. Very punctuated. Alright, so the chorus, parts 1, 2, and 3. 3. So what I'm doing there is I'm going, that part's the same, then we're going to go up here on the 15th and 14th on the high E. So it's 15, 14 on the E and the B. You got to listen to the record to get this rhythm down right. So that's kind of off a D major down to a G. So what I'm doing there is 15, 14, 15, 14 on the high E and the B. And then on the low, on the D string, I'm playing an E on the 14th fret. And that's 13, 12 on the B and 12 on the G. So all together. Cool. And the turnaround goes. Okay, so let me show you that turnaround. That turnaround's really crazy, all right? So it goes, so I'm doing a B dominant 7 chord. It's a B dominant 7 and a sus4 all together. It's like, and it resolves just to a regular B major. And we're gonna go same chord shape up here with a D, sus4 dominant 7. Okay, and then an F dominant 7 to a B flat to an F. All right, so let's take a look at this in more detail. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the B dominant 7 sus4. So we play it twice and resolve. Go up to the D. Do it twice and resolve. This is a weird one right here. We're going to go. So this chord is, it's an F dominant 7. So I'm going F dominant 7. So where we're at on this is, on the D string, we're on the 4th or 3rd fret. On the G string, we're on the 5th. And on the B string, we're on the 4th. So 3, 5, 4. So I'm going, and then 3, 3, 3 on the G and the B and the D. And then I'm barring the 3rd fret on the A and the D. And I got my ring finger on the 5th fret on the G string. So it's, all right, so from the beginning of that. And then we're going to go. All right, so what that is, so it's 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7 on the A and D. So 3 goes like that. And we're going to go like this. So that's the low E string. We're on the 5th fret. And then we're going to do the same linear pattern on the A and the D, which is going to be 5, 7, 9. So from this part here, and then we're going to go. This is a little different. We're on the 7th fret. We goes boom, and we're going to go 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10 on the A and D. So these first two ones go, and then this one goes. and then this one goes back to this. It ends on 8, 10, 12. So the only way I can really remember this pattern is by doing it this way, and I'll explain it. So after we go, it just starts off with the linear pattern. Then it goes, got that little thing in front of it. The first one doesn't do that. It just goes. So the two middle ones got the little bump thing. Like that. So it goes without one, then the bump, bump. The last one doesn't have it. The 8, 10, 12. It just goes. So slowly. So from that little breakdown part, now this part will trip you out. He does a D major harmonic on the 7th fret. And it's very important to get this. This note right there. That's part of the melody, so it goes. So there's two things, there's two harmonics in this. It goes, there's this, and then there's a G up here on the 12th. But he's going to be doing this little melody in between these harmonic things, so it's going to go. So we hit this harmonic, make sure on this G string on the 7th fret is the last note you hit, because the melody is going to go, which is, we're up here on the 18th, 16, and 14. So that part goes. Trill and slide down. And just like this little, and we're gonna hit that harmonic. This is so hard to explain, so from the beginning of that lick, I'm going to go, which is 14, 16, 12. You barely hit that 14th fret on that slide down. So then he hits this harmonic on the 12th, which is A, D, G. Then 11, 9, 7, 5, 4. Bend it up like 1.5 steps. Put some stank on it. So that lick again is. You got to really punctuate those notes. So Alright, so that's basically all the Drop Dead Legs. At the very end, when he ends on that, he kind of grooves on this really funky thing, and you know, it's almost impossible to pull this off exactly like Ed and Al, because they were kind of just improvising, but Eddie's doing something like So if you wanna groove on this thing similarly to that, he's going. I'm on the 3rd fret. And I'm pulling off and playing an A. I'm hammering on the low A, then drop D, octave on the D on the 5th fret, palm muting. Okay, and then Eddie he's jamming in D minor pentatonic. He starts off with like a so basically D minor pentatonics up here. Our old familiar pentatonic scale. Alright, so if we're down here on this, the D string and the A string, 3 and 5, he kind of starts off with that kind of motif, and then he does a ghost bend. Eddie liked to kind of play between the notes. He didn't always just do cliche licks like. So he went like that kind of stuff. So if you play up here on the 10th fret on the G string and bend it to like a major 3rd, and then he does this little. What I did there is I went 10, 12, 13 on the D string, and then 10, 12, 13 on the G, 10, 12, 13 on the B, and that's a little blues lick. Those little licks. And then bend high D. From like the, up here on the 20th or the 22nd. The main thing is just to have fun with it and just feel it and go with the flow, right? So hope this was helpful. This is a really difficult song. It was kind of hard to explain. I hope it made sense. I hope you like this kind of content. If you do, please consider subscribing, comment below, and as always, have a great day. Peace out.